Welcome back, everyone. We are back for another episode of Fireside Chat with Grand Design RV.
Get your popcorn ready.
Jeff, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Doing really well. Hey, I'm really excited today because we have a guest in-house.
Man, not just a guest. Anyone can be a guest. That's true. This is a legend. This is an RV legend.
Yeah.
Well, a celebrity.
An elevated guest.
Yes. You know, some guests take the stairs. This one takes the elevator because she is elevated. And I'll tell you, a lot of the people listening are going to know who this is because I mean, a little tongue-in-cheek, but she's a celebrity out there.
Yeah, you could say
Goes
that.
to all of the rallies or, you know, all the bigger ones and some of the smaller ones. And, you know, probably, we were talking, you know, been to 70 or 80 Grand Design rallies.
Yeah. Do you think they know who we're talking about? Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'll give another hint. She's our Director of Community and Owner Outreach, and she's been here for 6 years, and I got to tell you, what a meteoric rise. It's Miss Emily Stahley. Hi, Emily.
Why, hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for being on our show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mean, this is great because you are going to be able to give us some real-time input into the things out there that really matter, the community aspects of Grand Design, the rallies, things like that. Are you ready to dive into this thing? Because we're ready to hear from you.
Absolutely. Let's get it going.
All right. Well, first of all, let's state the obvious here.
Yes.
Obviously, this is an audio podcast, so I'm going to have to paint a picture here. You are wearing what can only be described as the skin of a pink lamb.
Yes.
Look at this. I mean, it's fuzzy.
Yes. This was a nice, this color, this bright pink color, plus a bright purple and a bright blue were special edition items in our owner appreciation tent at the Tampa RV or the Florida RV show in Tampa this year.
Was it cold there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it makes sense because it literally, I mean, if people could see you right now, it literally looks like you are a freshly shorn lamb.
Mm-hmm. It just makes you want to cuddle. Like,
yeah.
I just want to cuddle it all day long.
Man.
It's so soft.
Well, that's cool, though. So you can't get these anymore. If people were like, I want to look like Emily Stahley, I want to be a pink lamb, you can't do it.
As of right now, no. Unless our store decides to throw these out there. But I'm telling you, this was special edition Tampa.
Yeah.
We do that. You know, we go to the Hershey show. We go to the Tampa
remember
show,
the special edition Hershey hats.
and
that was something.
We have special edition items out there. So.
Right. Well, you look great, and thank you for being in here. We're going to talk quite a bit today about these rallies and the community stuff that you're a part of. But before we do that, let me ask, can I just ask, how long have you been here at Grand Design?
May-ish, May 4th. It'll be 6 years.
May the 4th be with you.
I think
That's right. Great anniversary date.
I think it's either the 4th or the 6th. I can't really remember.
We're going to go with the 4th because it makes for a better podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So 6 years.
Yeah.
Now, how did you get started here? Where were you before?
Lippert Components.
Lippert's. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what did you do there?
So I did something very similar. I worked within customer service, but I worked with the service team with doing their rallies that they would do as well. So it wasn't just Grand Design. It was all manufacturers that hosted a rally. I would help coordinate the service and coordinate who was going to be on site.
Now, why do you think rallies are such a big part of the RV lifestyle?
Oh, man. So rallies are just a way for people to get together, to build the camaraderie of just your love of the brand. So it's like, man, if you've never been to a rally, you got to get to one because it is like something you've never experienced before. I mean, I have never seen so much just joy and love for what we do and what we bring to these people, and just seeing the twinkle in people's eyes when they're so excited to say, I am on like the first leg of my cross country journey and I'm so excited about it. Like, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Now we have these Grand National rallies, right, in August. Well, we have the Grand National rally in August, but there's also the regional.
Yeah. So right now we're like 32-ish, 31 and 32 regional rallies throughout the entire United States, two 2.5 in Canada. And I say half because the Ontario rally has now opened up because it's so popular. They've opened up for a fall rally, which is it's out there, but it's not considered in that 32 because I don't know if it's like an official rally right now. But yeah, so we even have one in Alberta, Canada, right by Banff National Park.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and there's places all over the country, California, Utah, Tennessee, Florida, Myrtle Beach, New England area, New York, Texas, a couple in Texas. They're having, get this, 2 eclipse rallies.
Really?
So Texas.
On April 6th.
Oh, wow.
Yes. In Texas, they are in like the totality zone.
Right.
And they are hosting 2 different rallies, not too far from one another, but 2 different parks, 2 different wagon masters, eclipse rallies.
That's cool. I meant April 8th, not the 6th. You don't want to show up on the, well, they might be there on the 6th.
They're there. They're there the whole time.
Yeah.
And
8th is the solar eclipse.
They're just going to be out there enjoying it and being a part of the solar eclipse.
Now, I can attest to from when I started. I started actually about a couple months after you did in 2018. I would travel around to different rallies and take pictures, do video, obviously, and things like that. And I can attest, but one of the overpowering things I saw was how people just really do love these rallies. I mean, they can't wait to get there, and they're always very, generous in nature and talking to you. And it doesn't matter what job you are doing for Grand Design. Everybody comes up to you and says, hey, wow, they just want to talk about Grand Design. Anything Grand Design. It's a really cool part about it.
And it's not just like, they want to talk to you about Grand Design. They want to learn more about the company. They want to learn where the company's going, especially when they hear, secret announcements of like big things coming, right? They want to ask you. I mean, I don't know. Do you know of anything that's coming up?
I mean, you said it.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll open that can of worms later.
Okay,
yeah, good.
Okay.
But like, they'll hear these things, but they also want to get to know you as a person. They want to know who you are. They want to know who Emily is. Emily's not just Emily Grand Design. Emily is the mom of 2 kids, the wife of a police officer, the, crazy, has too much energy and drives her department crazy with all of her energy kind of person, right?
Well, I think we can attest to that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Now, man, so that's a lot to unpack. Let's go back. I don't want to skip any steps here. So you were at Lippert, you came over to Grand Design. What was that transition like? And then what did you do early on here, and how's that changed?
So very easy transition, because while I was at Lippert, not only was I working within the rally program, but I was also working with a lot of social media. So about a year before I came over to Grand Design, I was asked to help Grand Design owners, because they were very active in social media platforms. I was asked to help them with some concerns that they would be seeing as far as Lippert products on social media platforms. So I was brought in, and I was kind of like the Grand Design personal social media Lippert representative. If there was ever a problem, I was the person they got a hold of. Okay, great. It was fantastic. But, I graduated past that, and I ended up doing, going more into that rally role. And I played a role at a lot of I came to the national rally for Grand Design, but I was a Lippert representative and got my hands dirty, and they saw something in me and said, hey, you want to come work for us? The opportunity presented itself, and it was worth it. So I started out here coming in and doing just that. I helped with rallies. I started on a Monday. And on Wednesday, I was driving to Tennessee for my first regional rally. So 2 days I had been on the job. I didn't even have a computer yet.
Wow.
Went down to Tennessee, and that was the very first rally that they started sending an SRT with a service response technician to with the truck and trailer.
Yeah.
It was the very first time. It was eye-opening experience. But I was down there, and it was amazing. And then I came back here, and I just kind of started putting together rallies and helping put together rallies, and then social media, being on those owners pages.
So how many rallies do you think you've been to in these years?
Oh my gosh, I can't even count.
North of 100?
In my entire life, or just in Grand Design?
Just for Grand Design.
Oh.
It's got to be a lot.
So I've been here for 6 years. I'd say close to 70, 80.
70, 80. So you're getting there.
Yeah,
you're getting there. All right, so let me ask you, besides the sense of community, give me a couple of reasons why someone would want to go to a Grand Design rally. And maybe someone, if someone's gone, they probably know the reasons. Let's say someone's on the fence. They just bought a Grand Design, or they have a Grand Design. They've never been to a rally. Give me a couple of reasons besides just the camaraderie between the people who own them, why they would want to go.
Education.
Okay.
You're going to learn a lot. Because not only do you learn a lot from other owners, but you're going to learn a lot from vendors. There's a lot of vendors that go. You've got representatives that come from MoreRide, from Satellite Systems, from all these different aftermarket add-on products that you can get. There's people that Lippert comes. They educate you. They talk about program, or they talk about the systems in your travel trailers and fifth wheels. I mean, it's very educational. It's almost mind blowing.
Gotcha.
Honestly, the opportunity to buy stuff.
Okay. Buy what?
They'll have things for sale. They'll have, sometimes the people will be there with, what is it? Starlink, the internet systems.
Sure.
And you can get discounts. Sometimes, then while you're there, oftentimes they set up, donations, to give back to a nonprofit. So a lot of times they'll have a group of people there that are from a local animal shelter, and they'll talk about things, and then they'll offer for you to donate to their animal shelter and things like that. So there's just a lot of different reasons to go. You're just making friendships. I know so many people who have gone to a rally, met somebody for the very first time, and they have become lifelong travel buddies.
Have you ever met anyone who got married at a rally?
I have.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Tom, were you there for that?
Yeah, I actually went to a rally and got to film part of the wedding. They got married on the beach. It was
Delaware.
at the Delaware. Yeah, a few years ago. And I got a chance to, they said, hey, since you're coming out, can you get this on tape? So I got to film a wedding at a rally.
We have seen it all, Jeff. You're missing out.
Yeah,
I got to say,
man.
I go to these things. Come on now. Maybe not to the
Yeah.
extent, but this is classic, because I'll tell you something, and I don't think I would offend anyone by saying this, but RVers are typically looking for a good deal, right? I mean, that's
100%.
Looking for, to get married at an RV rally and then just to use the Grand Design videographer, that is the ultimate deal right there.
It's smart.
It's really smart.
Super smart.
Man, and if you're out there listening right now, good for you. Good for you, and I hope your marriage is great.
The other good thing about coming to rallies is that when you're at a rally, it's typically in a region where Grand Design has a dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And those dealers come out to the rallies, and they talk to people about the purchasing, what's going on with purchasing units right now, what they have as far as inventory on stock. They educate people about the buying experience, about the post-buying experience, all these things. But they also bring units out for display. And then you get to walk in a unit and you're like, I'm going to trade in my Imagine and get this reflection, and they'll start working a deal with you right there at that rally.
Wow. So there's a lot of opportunity.
So dealers benefit from this just as much as owners do.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now,
I want to say at that Mid-Atlantic rally, and it might have been the year we did the wedding, I think they sold 9 units.
Mm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep.
Well,
that's pretty cool.
Can you imagine going to a rally and then leaving with a new unit? That's fantastic.
It happens.
Yeah.
So what is, so you might have to reach back for this one, but
Oh boy.
what's the craziest thing you've ever seen at a rally or heard of? We'll even say it could be hearsay, because that's usually even better.
I don't even know.
Anything nuts?
I might have to think about it.
Okay.
I might have to think about that one. Craziest thing at a rally.
Yeah.
Because
we were
prep me on that one.
Well, because Tom and I were talking, about craziest thing that I've seen at shows.
Oh.
And boy, let me tell you, there are some doozies. I would say probably not to the same level at rallies, because people are a bit more focused on what they're doing and why they're there. But just wondering if you knew anything, anything you could share.
I feel like you know one that you want me to share.
No, I speak with no presuppositions here.
So there was one time, people know that I'm a very easygoing kind of person, right? Like I roll with the punches. One year I was at the Mid-Atlantic rally, and it had been a pretty long day. The weather wasn't great. It was kind of cold and chilly. I had been out and walking all along the units, and I came back to my cabin because I was staying on site there. I walked into my cabin, and all of my furniture was flipped upside down.
Wow.
That was awesome. Thanks to Jody and Heidi Bates.
Oh,
Yeah, the Bates Motel.
you got pranked.
I totally got pranked.
Wow. Now, are there a lot of pranks that go on at these things?
One time, a person who used to work with me, her car was stolen. She left her keys in the car and somebody took it and drove to the other side of the park. That was fun.
Wow.
I mean, people come out in dinosaur costumes and shark costumes.
Yeah. That's funny.
I mean, and they do all kinds of fun things. Like they do these things called camper crawls, which, they go and they go down one like lane of the park,
Mm-hmm.
and people are set out with appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
They will have alcoholic beverages, non-alcoholic beverages. They have kids snacks, all these different things because they try to make it as family oriented as possible. And they go all out. Like they dress up. I mean, dress up.
Yeah, I've witnessed one of those myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is quite the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you gain 5 pounds easily leaving a rally.
Gotcha.
Easily with the amount of food you eat.
Yeah. So some people go, how would you say, over GVWR?
Oh,
at these
for
rallies.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. So the Grand National Rally, obviously the one I've been to the most every year here is, that one has the distinction of having pretty much all the Grand Design people there,
Mhm.
including Don.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, I hear some stories there because the owners, when they see him, he doesn't get away.
It's like he's a rock star. Like we have to be prepared with Sharpies so that he can sign just about anything that someone throws at him, which is a little scary.
That is.
Yeah.
So
The imagination can run wild with that one.
yeah, we'll
Emily.
just let people use their imagination.
Yeah.
Because that'll be fun.
Yeah, last year I heard he got kidnapped, quote unquote, by the Canadian delegation.
Totally did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all got here early.
They turned him.
Yeah. Right? Wow. He did say he was an honorary Canadian.
Yes.
I don't know what that entails. I've been to Canada several times. We actually have someone here who in our sales team who is Canadian. We'll have to have him on the podcast because he can tell us what it means to be an honorary Canadian.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have noticed Don's a lot more, uses the, he says a lot now.
Yeah.
And the other day I asked him I asked him for a measurement. He gave it to me in the metric system. It wasn't good. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's an honorary Canadian. Let's just say that. And if anyone ever seems to notice a Don bobblehead with a Canadian flag on his shirt, I mean, that's the honorary.
So let's talk about this Don bobblehead. I was recently, and I mean, when I say recently, I mean just a few days ago, invited to a Facebook group called Where in the World is Don Clark? Now, do you know anything about this? Because when I clicked on it, there was a picture of the Don Clark bobblehead. And so this was a limited edition bobblehead.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who's responsible for making this, but I'll say this to the audience here. In my opinion, looks way more like Marlon Brando than it does Don Clark.
A little bit. You are absolutely correct.
I mean, it looks like the Godfather sitting there with the Grand Design shirt. And when it was presented to Don, to see the thoughts running through this man's head as he looked at this bobblehead, it was a sight to behold.
Well, yeah, especially for that person who was presenting it to him.
Who was that?
Which would have been me.
Oh, it was you. That's
it was
right.
you. Yes. Emily.
Okay, so let's just say that's probably the second time I've almost been fired. The
Okay.
first time was when I decided to take my old boss, who is the VP of Service and Operations, Jerry McCarthy.
Mhm.
In 2019, I took his face and put it on a piece of paper and gave it to every single person at National Rally. And he did not know about it. Don did know about it. Don was in on it. So when we were having our morning or the welcome with Don, and he called Jerry up to the stage, the instructions on the back of that face specifically said, when Don says, Jerry, where are you? Hold up your Jerry head. And the whole audience did.
Mm-hmm.
There was probably
everyone laughed. I mean, everybody thought it was funny.
It was perhaps the greatest thing to ever happen at Grand Design. I was there.
That was amazing.
Probably 600 people in that building,
Easily.
and then instantly 600 Jerry McCarthys.
Yes.
And he didn't know what to do.
He didn't. And he didn't know who did it. He thought Don did it for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then he found out I did it. And I was like, I'm going to lose my job.
Uh-oh.
Well, and that's why he's your old boss and you
Oh,
transferred
wow.
departments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, so
You've
then
been blacklisted. You're on the list.
You know what? So, Don got such a kick out of Jerry. Like, he continued. Like, we would go to staff meetings and Don would hold up Jerry's head every once in a while. I mean, it was just, it continued for a good year and a half afterwards. And people took Jerry on their travels. My kids took Jerry on our travels. So Jerry would travel with us in the car in the window. And it was great. But people would do that. They would hold up the Jerry head and they'd be at Mount Rushmore. So, Jerry, you're visiting Mount Rushmore.
Jerry's been a lot of places. So fast forward, now we have the Don Clark bobblehead.
Yeah.
Now this was limited edition. There was only 500?
500.
500 made,
Mm-hmm.
all individually numbered. You got a certificate of authenticity. I mean, it was a real deal.
Yeah.
And now this has become widespread.
It has.
And you have this Don Clark, Marlon Brando, Vegas lounge singer looking bobblehead all over the country.
It's outstanding. I mean, Don probably doesn't think so, so hopefully he doesn't listen to this. But these people are having so much fun with this, and the creativity that they're doing is phenomenal. Like, it was great, and it's bringing people together, and it's bringing fun and positivity. So as you can imagine, this is bringing a lot of smiles to people. And there are some people who don't really care for it, but you know what? They scroll by and whatever. But
Right. And that's their right.
Yeah,
and that's
Don-
what they should do.
Exactly. And Don is visiting so many places. He was in San Juan, Puerto Rico last
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
he was able to physically go on like the captain's deck of the cruise ship.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
So
Yeah.
for those that don't know, one of the rallies that we support is not an RV rally. What? It's not an RV rally, but it's Grand Design RVers going on a cruise.
Does that count as half a rally or a whole rally?
So it's not usually a really big group. It's usually about, 40-ish people. But when you think about it, let's put this into perspective
It's
here.
an international rally, right?
Well,
there.
it is. But when you live full time in your fifth wheel, travel trailer, whatever it is, you don't go on vacation, right?
Yeah, it's
Because
what vacation is.
You
your
and
life.
I, we stick some bricks. We go on vacation. Our vacation could be taking a camper out, but their vacation, they don't go on vacation because they live in their camper. So their vacations are oftentimes going on a cruise, getting out of their camper, getting away. This is a way for them to still build that camaraderie, build those friendships for people to be able to travel in the future together, not just on a cruise ship, but as they're traveling the country in their Grand Design.
Wow,
It is pretty cool.
that's a
How long have they been doing the cruise?
So the very first cruise was actually supposed to take place in 21.
I say it during
But
the
it was-
COVID stretch.
But it was a
right?
COVID situation,
Right.
so we could not go. So it was supposed to be January of 21. That got postponed, and then they ended up doing one in 22, 23, and now in 24. And they officially have scheduled the 2025, which
Do you get to go on these cruises? As our director of community and owner outreach, I would think that you would need to be as many as possible. This counts. So are you going?
I have not. I was scheduled to go on the very first one. I was scheduled to go on that one. Now, obviously that one was canceled. I am looking at the opportunity to go on the 2025, but it's more of a different capacity. Like, I will educate people about Grand Design.
Mhm.
But did you know that cruise ships offer volunteer opportunities while on board?
I did not.
They do.
Mm.
So we're going to look at potentially volunteering.
What are you going to volunteer for?
We're not sure. We're waiting to hear back from them.
Hmm.
But there's volunteer opportunities to help the cruise be a successful cruise, whether that's going around and helping the staff, whether that's when you port, helping at a local place in the port, whatever it is. So we're gonna try and get some volunteer opportunities out there.
Nice.
I could see you pulling up an anchor.
You know
You
what?
know, just
I
old
would be
school.
amazing.
All by yourself.
Like, Popeye.
Yeah.
ate spinach before. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Can you talk to the audience a little bit about your newest endeavor from about the last year or so called the Impact Team?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a group of people. There's four couples. Okay. They're all Grand Design owners. So they all own a Grand Design unit of some type. And what they do is they do something within the community or within a group of people to be able to make an impact somehow. Okay. So we have Cindy and Chris Heisler. They are with the Honor Network and they travel around with the United States Honor Flag. Some people may have seen them. They travel in a big momentum that's completely wrapped, has all these fancy things on it. Honor, educate, and inspire is their mission. They want to honor heroes that have been killed in the line of duty. So they have a flag that they travel around with that goes to these funerals and honors the heroes. They like to educate people about the flag and about their mission and inspire. They want to inspire people to get out there and do these things. Whether it's inspire them to be a part of this mission or inspire them to get out there and be a part of society as far as serving their communities, police, fire, military, things like that. We have Keith and Rainey Harris. Her tagline on social media is "It's me, Rainey Lee." They're very involved in giving back to the communities that they travel in. For a long time, where they were traveling nonstop, they were volunteering their time at local places. They would be in a place for a week. They'd find a pet shelter and they would donate their time. So they love being able to give back and volunteer to the community. Then we have Mike and Missy Cook, the Campaholics. And what they do is they attend a lot of rallies. So we're talking about these rallies. They go to these rallies and they educate owners on not just full-time living, but tips and tricks like the best place to find, gas cheap, or how to use harvest hose, or, even to the point of like these little tiny things like, hey, let's use what are those things that they go on the back of the phones? Pop sockets? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah. You use a pop socket, you stick it on your RV screen door, and it's a real easy way to pull your door open and shut. Interesting.
Who knew?
Yeah,
I know, right?
So that's the Campaholics.
That's the Campaholic.
Now, do they host Campaholics Anonymous? For people who are camping is ruining their lives because they're just doing it too much.
That's a good one. Maybe you should pitch that to them.
I might.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure camping's ruining anyone's lives.
I don't think it's ruining their lives, but Campaholics, or like Campaholics Anonymous, you could have people come and be like, yes, I'm a campaholic. I spend too much money camping. Hey, there we go.
There you go. Yeah.
But they also go to so many rallies and they educate people and things like that about all different things. And they talk about the brand. They're very loyal to the brand. And then our last one is Courtney and Ryan Spencer. So Courtney is very involved locally. So they live here in Indiana. They're only about 30 minutes away from our plant here. And they have a solitude, love it. And they have two young daughters. And what her goal is to try and empower women to feel more comfortable with themselves, in their own bodies, just like giving back like that. She wants to, last year we did something with her called Prom Squad. We hosted 10 girls in the local community here and gave them the prom of their dreams that they would have never been able to have because maybe they were fostered or parents passed away or they just didn't have the financial means to be able to do it. We took them out, spoiled them, and they were able to have an amazing prom. So
that's fantastic. Wow.
Yeah, like she loves building into the community, building into the young girls. Came from being a teacher in the local community here, and decided that teaching in the public schools just wasn't for her. So she went a different direction, and now she's still working with young girls to make sure that they feel loved.
So the Impact team does seem to be a pretty good cross section of people who are at rallies. I know that just from rallies and from shows, there's a really large contingent of RV owners that are police or first responders or military, and then pretty much everybody at a rally is about giving back in some capacity. Some people are looking for ways to do that, and I think this clearly helps with that.
Yeah,
and that's interesting that this group was formed. How did the group form?
Oh well, originally we weren't called the Impact Team. We had a couple of other owners, including the Heislers with the Honor Network, and they were involved first. We had this program called the Goodwill Ambassador Program. Well, I just didn't really like the name, first of all. And it kind of dwindled, and we just didn't really know a clear path of where we were going to go. So we kind of put our heads together, sat down, and said, we need to figure something out. and we mapped this out. And now, like you were saying, people are very giving and things like that. So one of the things that the impact team does at rallies is they will host an event. So Myrtle Beach rally is coming up here shortly. Cindy is in charge of the blood drive. So they're hosting a blood drive, and that's a way for our owners to give back. You don't have to give back financially all the time. Some people don't have a financial, like the extra financial means to be able to throw in a bucket or whatever. Give back your time, give by donating blood. You got an extra can of corn in your pantry? Well, hey, donate it to the food bank. So, and we host, so something I'm real excited about. We're going to national parks this year. Last year we went to Zion.
Nice.
And we did a national park cleanup day. It was amazing. Not only did we get to see the absolute splendor of Zion and experience it with some Grand Design owners who were absolutely in awe, because they probably would not have visited it because they would have been busy doing rally activities or whatever. Yeah. But signing up for this gave them the opportunity to see Zion, and they were amazed. And we picked up trash just along 2 different trails.
Nice. Well, I think the name that you came up with fits.
Yeah.
You know, very accordingly. You know, because they're making an impact on society different ways.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very fitting.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time to go.
Oh, yeah, we got to clear the room, man. I forgot. They have to bring in some more sheep to shear for the next limited edition sweater, so we got to go.
Okay, well, in that case, Emily, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you for having me.
Until next time.